Corey here with another podcast up in Dungully country. I'll pass over to the brother over on today.
Yeah, thanks, Corks. It's great to be here. I haven't seen you for a while too, brother. Yeah. So a lot of people might not know, but when you're living in Redfern, my dad obviously lives in Redfern, and on weekends and stuff, I'd hang out. You'd hang out with Travis and Reese and the boys.
Yep.
Yeah.
So it's it's a bit of your story, bro. Growing up in Sydney, now you're up here in Kempsey. So how was it growing up in Sydney?
Yeah, it was awesome. I was born in Sydney. I moved back to Kempsey when I was really young for a couple of years.
Yep.
And then I moved down to La Perouse. So I lived down in the Mish there at La Perouse for a couple of years. And then I spent the majority of my life, I grew up in the Housing Commission over at Elfo, so in South Coogee. Grew up there with my mum. And again, like I said, would venture into to Redfern, especially around the football season, some weekends. And then now very blessed to come back home and live in Kempsey and also Port Macquarie. Got my own business in Port Macquarie.
Yeah.
And I also run a ranger program up here. So we just got a ranger program for our corporation. So yeah, it's been a great journey. The childhood, I think, really helped. It really helped me grow up fast, I suppose, and learn. We were talking off camera. I probably learnt my street smarts. Growing up in them sort of situations and seeing different things happen and how business got done, how you treat people, and I just sort of had to grow up a lot faster. Then went into first grade.
Yep.
Played professional rugby league, and then post rugby league getting into business. So it's been a incredible journey so far. There's been plenty of ups, plenty of downs, plenty of highs, plenty of lows, but each of them are used as a learning experience. And I'm very content and at peace now, especially being back home and being able to do a lot of stuff in community for our people and also for our youth.
Yeah. So I guess going back to the childhood stuff. So what you do as you played football, but schooling and stuff, and
Yep. I was very fortunate. I went to La Perouse Public School and then Chifley Public School. But I was very fortunate and my mum pushed me very hard to get an opportunity in Never Sports High.
Yep.
So to go to Caringbah from Coogee, it was a bus, a train and a bus to school every day. It was about an hour and a half.
Yeah.
Just to and from school. So that was an hour and a half there, an hour and a half back, but it was a targeted sports program. And I spent year 7 to year 12 there, and I had really good mentors around me. So I had Jeff Hardy, who's still there now and a big part of Endeavour, also Clontarf, and also Kirinari, so transitioning a lot of kids from the bush down to Sydney to live. And having that, I suppose that journey into NRL. I wanted to be a rugby league player. I worked very hard, but I also had a lot of support around me. I learned the game very early. I was around a lot of talented players. We trained very hard, and I think it really helped me. It helped fast track me or give me a great opportunity to play rugby league.
Yep.
I obviously made my debut at 18 and was thankful enough to play 10 years. But yeah, the childhood and the upbringing side of it, it was, as I said, it gave me resilience. It taught me hard work. Again, coming from nothing, you were very grateful for a lot of things. You didn't let opportunities go. And I suppose it especially now, it keeps you very humble.
Yeah.
I was probably a little bit more confident and a bit more of a larrikin when I was playing football, I think. But I think now it grounds you. It makes you understand what is important in life.
Yep.
And coming back home has really doubled down on that as well.
Yeah. Because as you said before, we grew up together, so I've known each other for a while. I guess watching your career too, and you had a lot of injuries.
Yeah.
How did you deal with them?
Yeah. Again, I think that was it sounds weird. I think it was a blessing.
Yeah.
A lot of people say to me, "Oh, gee, you were unlucky throughout your rugby league career," and I look at it in a different way. I said, "No, I was very fortunate."
Yeah.
I said because I just wanted to play one NRL game as a kid, and when I played that one NRL game, then I just wanted to play 10. Then when you play 10, you just want to play 50. And I think what I learnt about myself during that time period of when I'd cop. So just for the record, I had 4 ankle reconstructions, a wrist reconstruction, shoulder reconstruction, knee reconstruction. You can see one of my fingers are deformed, broken legs, things like that. So I'd only sort of get 6 or 8 games consecutive, then something would happen, would be a 3-month or a 6-month injury, and then I'd have to fight my way back. But what it taught me during them low points, it taught me a lot about myself. It taught me how mentally strong I can be. It taught me about resilience. It taught me patience. It taught me a lot of things that I use now.
Yep.
So at the time I didn't understand it. I didn't really have that why is this happening to me mentality or poor me mentality, but it was, again, I'm working my way back to where I am, and then I can't catch a break, or, you know, things just aren't falling away. I didn't understand at the time, but I understand it now, because it taught me what I needed to know for now.
Yeah.
So a lot of the time we don't understand the reasoning or why things happen, but then later on you understand, okay, that was meant to happen at that time, or, you know, I'm a big believer in things happen, you know, for a reason.
Yep.
I look back, I played 109 NRL games over a 10-year period, and like I got to live out my dream for 10 years, and I always said to myself, like, if I died tomorrow, I'd die a happy person. Like, you know, I didn't want to die, but it happened, and I got to, throughout them injuries, I doubled down on community work.
Yeah.
So through South Cares and again, that kept me very humble in regards to the fact that, you know, I'd go to hospitals and I'd see people in hospitals, little kids, and, you know, and you think, I'm feeling sorry for myself.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I'm an NRL player and I'm living my dream, and this poor kid's born with with an issue, or has leukemia at 5, and the families are struggling just to find accommodation. And again, that was something that I got to double down on and meet so many good people.
Yeah.
You know, I was truly blessed, and I am truly blessed. I worked very hard, but it wasn't like it just got handed to me. I think I even do it now when we watch games on TV. We just sort of think to ourselves like, oh, you know, I could do that, or but you don't. Like, the actual process of getting up in the morning, sacrificing birthdays, you know, people's weddings and all these things to be able to perform and be at your best, you know, eating correctly, doing the 1%ers, but training at an optimum level, you know, getting dropped and being able to fight back adversity through injuries, the ability to actually compete and keep your spot with other players.
Yeah.
You know, it looks like that, but it's like this. Like, that's the road and that's the journey, but that's where you learn the lessons, and that's where it's the highs and the highs and the lows are sometimes, you know, they're just as good.
Yeah.
Like, it's easy to say now, but when I was going through it, I probably wasn't thinking like that.
Yeah. Yeah.
But now I sit back and go, wow, like I got through that. You know? And then now I know that anything I'm faced with, if I put my mind to it and I just work hard enough, it seems to turn. Like, the universe looks after you, or things just sort of happen around you if you just keep the crack.
I'm the believer in you make your own luck.
You do.
Luck just doesn't happen. You've got to put yourself in that position for it to actually happen.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the magnets didn't work for you?
They did. Yeah. You know, they did when I needed to, but I'm hypermobile, so that means that, you know, a lot of my joints go past where they should.
Yep.
So that was where I was getting, and because I was trying my hardest. I wasn't blessed with like a lightning speed, or, you know, unbelievable strength or anything like that. I had to work out what my strengths were and what my weaknesses were, and try to just double down on them.
Yeah.
Like I couldn't do things that superstars did. I understood my role in the team and that sort of thing. And I just, as I said, I'm a big believer in, I just try to reach my full potential, and whether someone else is a believer in where my potential was or whatever, I just wanted to have no regrets.
Yeah.
The injury stuff I couldn't control.
Yep.
The getting moved on to different cups I couldn't control. All I could control is did I feel like when I trained as hard as I could, and when I played the games I tried as hard as I could, and I walked off the field saying I did that.
Yeah.
You know? And if that meant I was an average player, then I could live with that, because I knew I couldn't really you know, you always sit back and say, I could have gone more, I could have trained harder, I could have done this. But when you're in the moment, you really were doing your best, I suppose, you know.
At that level of, I can't give anymore as well.
The hard part is with society and with a lot of things, you know, you start to look sideways.
Yeah.
I think that's what I used to do when I was younger. I envied things, or I wanted things, or I used to compare, like, you know, they always talk about the greats, and you sort of, and then you got to say, well, hold on a second, I'm one of 17 players that's playing for this club every single week, and that's a big achievement. But again, the commentary and this and that and people's opinions and all that, you start to look sideways. But when you scale it back and you look back and, you know, in a review you say, I did my job for the team this week, I did my job for the club this week. There were games where I had shockers, you know, like, but you didn't mean to go out and have a shocker. It just wasn't meant to be that.
It happens,
It happens, you know. Yeah. But that's a good lesson.
Yeah. So doing that community work, you said you started with South Cares. So, you know, post-football, what did your life look like then after your retirement?
It was hard for me post-football in regards to, like, I had preparation for post-football in regards to, like, because I was injured. But it was hard for me in regards to the fact that I didn't have the same structure. I didn't have, I suppose, I wasn't doing rugby league, and it was always going to be that sort of transition. Yeah. And I lost my way, you know, I lost my way after football. I got into a business. I had 2 F45 studios. They were going great. And I had work with South Cares. I was doing multiple things. But the thing was that the thrill you get from rugby league, or the adrenaline rush, or being a part of a team and like living out that, when it gets taken away from you, the other stuff is like a tiny little injection. It's only just like. And so what you try and do, or what I found myself trying to do, is I try to keep chasing that high, or trying to keep chasing something that was going to give me that same pleasure as when I was a rugby league player. And that's when, unfortunately, I found drugs and alcohol. And it was, again, another. At the time, I didn't think much of it, because it was just. I thought it was normal. You know, I thought it was normal, and I was having fun. Like I said, I could afford it because I was, you know, I had business and this and that. But then after a while, like everything, it catches up on you. And I wasn't happy with the person that I was. Like I didn't wake up every day like that feeling of like, you know, I'm fulfilling my potential. I had a lot of fun. Don't get me wrong. It was a lot of fun. But the come down started to be 3 days, not half a day. You know. And as I said, I started to really question my purpose. I needed to find my purpose. With rugby league, I had a purpose. And you know, with drugs and alcohol, I didn't have a purpose. I was living out what society thought was fun. And that's when I had to be straight up and honest with myself. And you know, I'm 4 years clean as of January 25th.
Congratulations, bro.
Yeah, thanks, bro. Yeah, and it's not like, you know, a lot of people keep them, but I just remember that date because there was a wedding I went to, and it was around that date, and that's how I remember. I don't celebrate it every year or post it out there, but it's a reminder that and what I did, you know, probably once I did go clean, and it was weird. When I started to go clean, everything started to fall back into place. It was weird. Like, again, I had to fight my way back and start again on a lot of different things. Sold the businesses, had to fight my way back. But what I did was I went back to the same mentalities I used with football. It was like I get up early, I work, I train, I stay disciplined, I do this, I do that. And you wouldn't believe it. Someone would ring you and say, hey mate, I've got this opportunity, right? And you go, I'm going to make the most of this. You make the most of it, and then something else, the door opens, and then this door opens, and that door opens, and then I got an opportunity to buy a business and move back home. And then it was like I found my purpose. But at the start of that journey, about 6 months into that journey, I turned back to culture. So did cultural stuff out in the bush, and really recentered myself, and aligned myself, and learnt a lot about the core values of our culture around respect, responsibility, discipline, and justice. And as I live by that every day, and it keeps me centered and it gives me a purpose every day.
Yep.
So I'm of service to my community every day, and things don't have the values that they used to. When I was younger, I wanted a red Ferrari. That was like a big thing.
Yep.
If you gave me a red Ferrari now, I would just look at it like a piece of metal.
Yep.
It wouldn't. My heart rate wouldn't move. It wouldn't mean anything to me.
Yep.
Doesn't mean that I don't still chase ambitions and goals, but the monetary value or what other people see as success or that's different to me. I don't. It doesn't. It's weird. It doesn't have any value to me.
Yeah.
Which is something I've learned and been able to, and I think that way too. It's I can live very simple now. Whereas before I thought, as I said, I look sideways. Especially living in Sydney, I used to think I have to have this to be successful or part of something or valued. And I think that's where some of our people do struggle. It's balancing both worlds.
100%. How do we walk in the both worlds? Yeah.
Yeah.
Especially around our relationship with money, because it's only 3 generations old.
Yeah.
Of understanding power doesn't come with money, or money doesn't come to power.
Correct.
And having those understandings around it.
Yeah. And I see so much of the conflict that we have in communities is around control and money and power.
Yeah.
And again, it's when you look back in our dictionary and stuff, there's no word that's for money. They use different words like stone, because we used to just trade, and even the way we used to live too. We used to always share, and all our core values. If once it worked, so that's my theory. It worked. It lasted this long.
Yep.
You go back to them values. You put people around you that have got the same values, and you work together for a common cause for everybody.
Yeah.
And as I said, I don't envy anything, so I'm not in this for the money.
Yeah.
So it doesn't. Money helps.
Yeah.
Like Steve Irwin said, what's a gold plated dunny going to do for me? But what I'm going to do with the money is I'm going to buy conservation and buy this, and you can use things to again balance both worlds.
Exactly.
So, that's been my journey so far, I'm very much at peace with it now. Like you always get regrets and things I should have but I always say to myself, if I didn't go through that, I wouldn't be here.
Yeah.
So I got to, I don't say I don't regret anything, but I wouldn't really change anything because I'm here now where I should be. So it is what it is.
Yeah, it's interesting. I had that yarn with my old man about 6 months ago, a bit longer. It's like if I didn't make the choices I did and live the life I did, led down crime and stuff like that, I've got a son now, it's 2, and I go, he probably wouldn't be and the work I'm doing that I love doing, like the podcast comes off the back of the work I do, but so I wouldn't be doing it because I wouldn't have that life experience to say, well, our men need to see other men talking to men about life.
Yeah. And you just got to be honest and real, man, what are we here for to do? Are we here to, we're here to buy houses and do this and do that and then move on? Are we here to actually impact people around us and make generational change so that, others can have that better life? But we're sort of here to share experiences and make memories and, and learn off each other. I think back before, and I think a lot of men too, they're a little bit, they're like that status thing or something. They can't show weakness. It's like going,
the white masculinity.
Yeah. And it's like, well, we're not born perfect, and if you make mistakes like everybody does, it's how you respond from. That was like the injury, it's okay. This has happened. What's my mentality? It's all mentality. It's not my mentality. I'm gonna sit here, feel sorry for myself, take sleeping tablets, do this, do that, end up here, or am I going to learn how to walk again? Am I going to build my body back up again? Am I going to build you got 2 paths. I think your destiny's already sort of chosen for you, but there's sliding door moments everywhere. And every sort of small decision you make has an outcome.
Yeah. No, exactly. And I guess part of the other role you do, you do a bit of stuff in television and stuff now. And How have you found that? Look, you've used to commentate yourself playing football, so I don't know if many people know that do it. It was Beau Champion's down the sideline, dummies inside, and he scores in the corner.
When we were at Endeavour Sports, we used to play footy on the basketball court. I used to pretend I was Cooper Cronk and Billy Slater and these sort of blokes.
Yeah.
And then a couple of years later, you're actually playing with them. It's a freak out. But
Yeah.
it was weird. When I was younger, I used to visualise playing in a rel. I used to just, and it was like I don't know how you attracted it.
Yeah.
I just believed so hard. And when I look back now, I thought, well, I don't know why I believed so hard, because there were so many other people around me that were so much better. But I don't know, I just believed and I used to vision things. And like you're saying with the commentary stuff, I used to pretend like, I used to say, well, one day I'm going to be calling football games on the TV and all that sort of stuff, like Ray Warren.
Yeah.
I didn't end up getting to that point. But it was weird because a lot of stuff that I had visualised come true. A lot of stuff I did as well didn't, but
Yeah.
I sort of, and then when it does happen, it's a little bit surreal because, like I said, one minute you're on the mission with, trying to help someone, that's struggling, and then the next minute you're talking to a CEO of a big company.
Yeah.
Like, it's, like I said, some of the extremes of my life day to day, I just see it all as everyone's like normal and equal. I don't see people like,
Don't see stature.
No, and even being on TV, like, people get really excited, and I just sort of like, I don't get nervous for the things because I just enjoy it. I don't, you got to be careful what you say sometimes, but like, I don't know, it's just fun.
Yeah.
Like, it's just fun, and again, it's a privilege.
Yep.
Playing rugby league and NRL was like a privilege. Doing running things like this now is a privilege. And yeah, I'm tired.
Yeah.
And yeah, even coaching the footy team, but again, I feel it's a purpose.
Yep.
And I think if I've got something to give, and why not do it now while I still can? Because you just don't know when it could all, finish. But yeah, I used to, as I said, I used to visualise it, and some things come, some things didn't. But I'd always, I don't know. It's just creative or intuition, or just, I don't know, thinking a little bit differently. And I'm one of them people. It's like, we can do this. Let's just work out how to do it. Like, a lot of people again, like, oh, it's going to be hard, or the budget's not there. Or it's like, well, let's make it happen.
Yep.
Let's find a way. And if we fail, we fail. Like, what have we lost? Nothing. So.
No, exactly it. And I guess going back to the family and stuff, siblings.
Yeah. So I've got a brother and a sister. We have different mothers, but it was great having a brother and a sister growing up, and extended as well.
Yep.
Even though I grew up with a single mother, and she supported me and helped and guided me and really put me on the path to what I am today.
Yep.
And then having that other connection, through my dad and his partner and their kids, like, I just got to meet so many different people. And I think that was when I was younger. As I said, I had a family here in Kempsey. So I had understood, and then I had people in Redfern, then you had people in La Perouse, and then, so as you sort of get older, you just sort of connect with more people because you just know more people. And then in the business world, it's sort of like networking, and
Yep.
and then it's weird how it all comes together. I suppose then when I played rugby league, a lot of them people, then it's weird when you have a good game in rugby league. After a game you have 50, 60 messages.
Yep.
When you have a bad game, you have one or two.
Yeah.
Your mum or dad, and then a pop, that's how it went. And when you get a bit of a profile, it's just other doors seem to open, and some are good, some are bad.
Yeah.
But they're opportunities, and it allows you to, like I said, with that profile, it does allow you to have a stronger voice.
Yeah.
But it also comes with responsibility. Like, I remember when I first come into the NRL, like, people saying, "Oh, you're a role model now to these kids," and I'm sort of like, "Hold on a second, I'm just a football. I just play football."
Yeah, and I'm 18.
Yeah, and then you understand, okay, well, everything that I do now has an impact on people around me because people are looking, at you as, because a lot of our community, they see our sports stars as idols, and even back when we were playing, a lot of them had strong voices.
Yeah.
Politics has changed a lot now, but back then, they'd always go to the NRL player and they'd be like, "What do you think about this?" And then it'd be like, "Oh, I don't really have an opinion." But say, so that was a learning curve, but it kept me in line because I couldn't do stupid things. I couldn't couldn't risk my career by taking drugs while I played, or mucking up in a pub, or doing something silly. So it was a blessing.
Yeah.
But it had responsibility, and then you had to understand that everything that I do isn't just about me. It can actually impact people around me, and then the community, the club. Like it was a lot to handle at a young age. But that's what I'm saying. Because of my childhood, I didn't overthink it. It just was like I know how to sort of
Navigate it.
Yeah, navigate this.
Yeah. And you talked about coaching before now, so following your father's footsteps.
It was weird because when I first started, I'm just going to be controlled and not going to sing out. Not going to sing out and that, I learned the lesson there. I was like, I'm not going to sing out. And then I think it lasted like a week or two, and I'm singing out off the bench and just getting right into it, because the reason why I coach here is it's because I understand how much impact rugby league has on individuals in our community and the community as a whole.
Yeah.
Because we face a lot of different things here, Corker, and it's high in every stat, and it's just the reality of what we face. And I see this rugby league space that we have there as a safe space for everyone.
Yeah.
And I sort of started to pick up on a lot of more stuff as I got through the season in my first year there, and just seeing an individual come in and you could see something was on their mind.
Yeah.
And you get a chance to intervene, pulling them to the side and just saying, hey, how's everything? Last couple of sessions, you've been a little bit disconnected from the group. Is everything okay? And then they open up, because you build that trust with them, and then you can say, well, I can help you with that.
Yeah.
Just talk to me about this. I've been through the same thing you have.
Yeah.
And they respect you. They respect you because you, first of all, help them, but then also you were not judging them. You were again, you're putting yourself trying to just help them.
Yeah.
And then you sometimes see individuals that this keeps them on the right path. If they didn't have rugby league in this community, I see a lot of them. I think to myself, I wonder
if you didn't have this.
If you didn't have this, and it's not perfect, and there's always issues, but we work through them, and we work through them with that mentality of, what's best for the club, what's best for the individual. We just sort of make them decisions on the run, but there's the trust that you build up, and there's a connection, and we help each other through hard times. There's been a lot of sorry business around here, just recently, and you can call on the people around you, especially in that football club, to help you through them tough times.
No, exactly.
Yeah.
And it's and for people that don't know, historically Kempsey is a very racist community. So having a place that everybody feels safe, but also equal, is and sport does that for us.
It does.
It's a equalizer in any community you go into.
It is.
And it's being a part of that, but also bringing that, I guess, to a sense of bit of professionalism to it as well. From you played first grade at the top levels, and you played under some great systems and coaches. So bringing that system point of view and saying, we're going all right, but let's make it bigger.
Yeah, definitely. And that's the thing with the coaching side of it. Like, I'm not there to sort of coach as X's and O's and technical sort of stuff. Yeah, I do push that stuff, but again, it's more around the hard work, the discipline, because that's what wins you competitions and games.
Yeah.
And it's been a real challenge for us. It's hard for us to. We're a community club.
Yep.
We can't buy players, and so we have to get locals to stay. So the way you get locals to stay is you support them as best that you can, and they know, well, I'm happy to take less money to play for the club that I love and to be around people that I love. That's our core. That's the core of the club.
Yeah.
But you build them connections, and you build it around people. It's all about people, and it's not perfect, and we've had to break down a lot of discipline issues off the field. We had to get a better relationship with the group, but I'd explain to a lot, as a committee, that it works both ways. We have to also understand that if we're playing a part, it takes two to tango.
Exactly.
And time equals everything out. So if and it has.
Yeah.
And I think that this year we're in a really good position in all grades. We've got our club is 80% Indigenous.
Yep.
So that is a real big thing. But we have a lot of other cultures within our club as well.
Yeah.
Which is, again, something that's really important and something that's really special. But yeah, it's great when you get a game at Verge and you get a big crowd and all the community come down and you
Yep.
get a win. And it makes all the hard work and all of the conflict and all of the arguments and all of the things, like, it makes it all worthwhile.
Yeah.
And again, if I can, I wish that, you know, everything could work, harmoniously and it was all perfect, but it's just not the reality of it here.
Yeah.
And you know, it's come from a long period of things happening. So
Yep.
all you can do is just like, we'll do our best with what we got, and whatever will be, will be.
No, that's it, bro. Well, yeah, final question, bro. When it's all said and done and you're back and you're off into the dream time, what do you want to be remembered for?
Yeah, I don't know. I just, it's hard because you ask a lot of different people. If you ask a lot of different people what they thought about me, you might get a lot of different answers.
Yeah.
I've had to wear a number of different hats. I think it was just that he was passionate about his community, and he's passionate about creating opportunities for, you know, our youth, but also just our people moving forward. Yeah, he was someone that, I suppose, went on a couple of different journeys.
Yeah.
Put it that way.
Yep.
Yeah, he went on a couple of different journeys, and I don't know where the next, you know, what the future holds, but he was someone that just kept having a crack.
Yep.
I had a crack, and I did my best, and
You showed up.
yeah, showed up and had a go, and yeah, it's hard to put into that sort of thinking of how do you want to, you know, how do you think you want to remember. I think before, if you asked me that question 10 years ago, I'd have a completely different answer.
Yeah.
Now it's like, I don't know, I don't really, I wouldn't say I don't really care, but
Yeah.
it's like I will be remembered however I'm remembered. You know?
Yeah.
But I think you'll have a lot of different people that would have differing opinions.
Yeah.
And I can't control them, but I know that when I leave, I left nothing. I had nothing left to give. Put it that way.
Yeah.
I had nothing left to sort of give. So to make your short answer long, yeah, because it's hard when you think about them things. Because I don't really,
Yeah.
I never thought about it. You
Yeah.
know, I haven't thought about it because, yeah, I can't control them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thanks, bros.
Cheers, Paul. Cheers, brother.
Thanks, Bowie.
Cheers.